Hello everyone, my name is Jamin. Thanks so much for visiting my channel. In this video, I have a Dell Inspiron 16 Plus. It's the 7640 model. I'm going to show you how to get inside and access many of your internal components, as well as show you some things you can upgrade. So first thing, power down your computer through the start menu. Make sure it's off and unplugged from your charger. We're then going to flip it over to access our bottom case screws. Now this bottom case has 8 screws. 2 of the screws near the green arrows, those screws stay in the case. The other ones will fully come out, but those screws stay in. They will lift the case up a little bit, making it easier for us to take that case off. Once you get those screws out, you're going to take your small flat plastic pry tool and insert it here in the rear next to the hinge assemblies. You're going to pop this side of the bottom case up first, and then work your way down both sides, and then do this edge last. Make sure not to put your pry tool too far in. You could damage some internal components. Just keep it on the edge, go nice and slow but firm, and you'll be able to take that bottom case off. Once you do, this is what you're looking at for the inside of your computer. Now, as a computer repair side note, whenever I'm working on a computer in my shop, it's sitting on an anti-static mat. Either that or an anti-static bracelet are great ideas to avoid damaging anything in your computer when you're working on it. If you would like help with tools or supplies for your computer project, as well as any replacement or upgrade parts for this specific model computer, I will have a link above, also below in the description, and that will be a list of all those tools, supplies, and replacement parts for this model computer. Now, before doing anything in a computer, it's always wise to remove or at least unplug the battery. Computers are safest to work on when as little power as possible is running through them. This is your battery right down here along the bottom of my screen. It's held in by 6 screws shown by the red arrows, and it plugs into the motherboard right here near the green arrow. Now this battery in this computer is the largest battery that's supported by this model. It's a 90 watt-hour battery, 11.7 volts. I will have a replacement option for this below in the description in that link I told you about with all of the replacement and upgrade parts for this model computer. There are several CPU versions to this model, however, and they all take different size batteries. So below in the description, I will have the full battery specs for this computer so you know which battery your computer takes if you're looking for a replacement. To unplug the battery from the motherboard, it's usually best not to pull on wires or cables in a computer. You could damage them or you could pull them right out of the plug. So it's generally best to just manipulate the plug itself. This one did have grips on either side that you could grip with your fingernails or a pry tool to remove, but because it was so close to the battery, I did have to unscrew all the screws first, lift the battery up a little bit and out so I could get some room to wiggle that plug out of that port. And I guess the last thing to mention about this kind of an operation, if you are here because your computer's not turning on, keep in mind that most laptops should still turn on and work with a bad battery as long as the charger is plugged in. So if your computer is not turning on at all, there may be something else wrong than just a bad battery. I will have a troubleshooting video link above, also below in the description, and that will show you the full troubleshooting process I use in my shop when a laptop's not turning on so I can find the cause and how to fix it. Now, as far as storage, this computer has a single M.2 PCIe NVMe Gen 4 solid-state drive port. It'll take the smaller 2230 solid-state drives or the longer 2280s. Below in the description, in that link I told you about with the replacement and upgrade parts for this model computer, I will have 4 different options for solid-state drives for this port. As far as the smaller 2230 drives, I will have a 512 gigabyte solid-state drive and a 1 terabyte solid-state drive. The same thing goes for the larger 2280s. I will have a 500 gigabyte drive and a 1 terabyte drive. As a side point, if you guys want to learn more about the difference in hard drives and various kinds of solid-state drives, I will have a link above, also below in the description, and it'll be a quick tutorial intro video to those different types of storage devices, how they're different, and why you may want one over the other in certain situations. The way to release this guard, you can take out that single screw right there, and then this comes up from the port. There is a thermal pad underneath it for cooling. make sure you don't accidentally remove that. That's helpful to keep your solid state drive cool. As far as the RAM or the memory in this computer, unfortunately, it's soldered to the motherboard. They do not offer removable or upgradable RAM for this computer. Depending on what processor you will have different kinds of RAM. I will have all the RAM specs below in the description, again, depending on what sort of CPU you have. And I guess as a last point to mention, if you are installing a new solid state drive into your computer, you most likely need to install an operating system to it. Below in the description, I will have 2 instructional videos. One will show you how to install Windows 10 onto a Dell computer. The other will show you how to install Windows 11. And lastly, if the old drive that you're replacing is bad, but you have data on it that you would like to save, it is still possible in most cases to recover data, even from a bad drive. I will have more information about that below in the description as well. One of your speakers is over here near the right of my screen. The other is over here near the left. Now, these speakers are not screwed down. They're just held down by these blue rubber washers over these posts. You just wiggle it off of those posts, and that's how you get the speakers up. This speaker to the left of my screen, it plugs in by these wires, this red and black wire. It's run down here, threaded through here, and plugs into the motherboard right here after it joins up with the white and blue wire from this speaker. Now, be very careful with these wires. They're very fragile. Definitely don't pull them out of that plug. Use your fingernails or a pry tool to wiggle that plug out of that motherboard port instead of pulling on the wires. Also, if you are replacing your speakers, make sure you run these wires exactly as seen in your computer. So pause this video if you have the exact same model, or if not, take a picture of your computer, because if you don't run these wires exactly as they're supposed to be, they could pinch on something when you try to put your battery back in or when you try to put your bottom case back on. I will have some replacement speakers in that list I told you about below in the description of all the replacement and upgrade parts for this model computer if you're looking for help finding a replacement. Also, if you're having sound quality issues in your computer, if the sound is not consistent across different programs, it may not be bad speakers. It may be a system or a driver issue. If you want help troubleshooting that before you come in here, I will have a video link below in the description, also above in the video, and it will be a tutorial showing you how to make sure all your drivers in your system are up to date. Your Wi-Fi card is right here near the center of your computer. It's held down by a single screw here. After you remove that screw, this metal bracket will come off, and you'll be able to pull the Wi-Fi card out of this port. Keep in mind, you will have the antenna cables right here, the antenna wires. Those are just snaps. Those snap directly onto the Wi-Fi card. So to take them off, you just pull directly up and off, and those will snap off. In order to get them back on to the Wi-Fi card, they do need to be at a perfect 90-degree angle, and you are strong enough to damage them if they're not at the right angle and you try to force it. So just be patient. It could be a little bit of pain in the butt if you're not used to it, but be patient, play with the angle, and you will be able to get those back on. If you are trying to replace your Wi-Fi card yourself, I will have all the Wi-Fi card details below in the description, but keep in mind I will also have a replacement option for you below in that link I told you about with all the replacement parts for this model computer. As a side note, if you're replacing your Wi-Fi card because you can't access your Wi-Fi options, that's usually not a Wi-Fi card problem. If that's your issue, if that's why you're here, you can't access your Wi-Fi options, you can't get them to come up, I will have a video link above. Also below in the description, it will be a tutorial showing you how to correct that problem, which is usually a system driver issue. So try those steps first, rule that out before coming in here and trying to replace your Wi-Fi card, because you may not need to. You have a fan right here linked to the vent. Your heatsink assembly comes down here with a heat spreader here above your CPU. If you're here to clean your fan out, don't just unscrew it and then yank it out. Just use your fingernails or a pry tool to wiggle that plug out of that port, because that can easily break. If you're here for any other reason, if you do need to take up your heatsink, if you do need to undo these 4 screws and take this heatsink assembly up, you do need to then reapply your thermal paste. Once you break that thermal paste seal and you expose it to air, it does need to be reapplied. If you need help with that or with cleaning out your heatsink, I will have a video link above, also below in the description. It'll be a tutorial showing you how to fix an overheating laptop. One of the things it will show you is how to clean off all the old thermal paste from both your CPU and your heatsink, and then how to reapply the correct amount of thermal paste. If you put too little down, you won't help your heat transfer. And if you put too much down, you'll end up locking heat in rather than taking it out. So again, that video tutorial will be below in the description if you need it. I'll also have a fan replacement option for you below in the description in that link I told you about with all the replacement and upgrade parts for this model computer. Some other items in this computer that you could be going for, this is your LCD cable right up here. Some of you will have a sticker here, like this model. You have to slowly peel that up and bend it back very carefully to reveal that clip. One thing to keep in mind with these type of clips on the LCD cable, also down here, your keyboard ribbon cable here, this large one, the smaller touchpad ribbon cable, and any ribbon cable you find in your computer, these are very, very fragile. So the way that this one works, the LCD cable, that black clip right there, you would slide a very, very flat pry tool carefully under that clip and gently pop it up. It'll open like a book cover. Same thing with this black clip here for your touchpad ribbon cable, this black clip here, and then your keyboard ribbon cable, it'll be a white clip. But you gently pop it up. Those clips are very breakable, and if you do break them, you may not ever be able to find a replacement without replacing your motherboard, which would mean that the ribbon cable will never securely fasten in there again. So be very, very careful. After popping that clip up, then you can remove your LCD cable or your other ribbon cables. If you're here because you need to replace your LCD, many computer shops, including mine, we prefer to replace the entire LCD assembly. It's easier, it's faster, less chances of breaking anything. To do that, we would unhook your LCD cable. Then we would unscrew your hinge assembly here in this corner, your hinge assembly there in that corner, and then you can take your entire LCD assembly off. However, if you are trying to save money as much as possible, and if you're looking to just replace the LCD and not the entire LCD assembly, I will have a video tutorial down below. It'll be a general tutorial how to open up an LCD assembly and get at your LCD to replace it. It's much cheaper than replacing the entire assembly. If that doesn't help you out enough and you need help with your specific model, leave me a comment on that video. Let me know what model computer you have, and I'll try to help you get into it. But that's the end of this video, how to get inside your Plus 7640 and access many of the internal components. Thanks again so much for watching. Please remember to like and share if this helped you out, if you think it can help someone else out. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoy DIY computer content like this, or if you just want to keep me on hand to answer any of your future computer questions. I do try to answer all questions throughout my channel at least a couple times a day. Also, feel free to check out the related links section below in the description. From time to time, I do try to add things in there that I think will help you with your general computer life, make it more productive, more enjoyable. So thanks again for watching, everyone. I look forward to seeing you on my next video.